Hello and welcome everyone to this video tutorial. My name is Kumar Saurabh and today in this video tutorial we will learn about PostgreSQL average function. Let's see what we are going to cover in this video tutorial. First we will learn about what is an average function. After this we are going to know about how to use an average function with another function that is called count function. After this we will know about how to use an average function with a group by clause in PostgreSQL. Then at the end of this video tutorial we will know about how to find the average value of a multiple column using an average function in PostgreSQL. Let's start by discussing what is an average function in PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL is a powerful open source relational database management system that provides a wide range of functions and features for efficient data handling. One of the most commonly used functions in PostgreSQL is average function, which calculates the average value of a set of numbers. The syntax for the PostgreSQL average function is as follows, you can see here. In this syntax, after select, we have used average function. Within the average function, we have provided column name that refer to the name of the column from which you want to calculate the average value. Then after from keyword, we have used the table name that refers to the name of the table where the column is located. Let's take an example and see how we can find the average value of a column using average function. For example, suppose we have a table called sales that contains a column product ID and sales amount with the following data. If we want to calculate the average sales amount, then we can use this query. In this query, after select, we have specified the average. Within the average function, we have provided the table name sales amount. As you can see here, sales amount contains the sales for each product. Then this sales amount column exists in table sales. So here we have used the table name as a sales. Let's execute this code and see the answer. As we can see in the output, the average sales amount in the sales table is $1,875. So this is how to use the average function in PostgreSQL to find the average value for a specific column. Now move to the next topic, PostgreSQL average count. In PostgreSQL, it is possible to combine the average function with a count function to calculate the average count of a certain column in a table. The syntax for calculating the average count of a column in PostgreSQL as follows, you can see. First let me tell you that this query is called a subquery. So when we use a one query within another query, then this is called a subquery. Here select count, it is a inner query, and here select average is a outer query. In this syntax, count column refers to the column for which we want to calculate the average count, and the column name refers to the column we want to count. Table name refers to the name of table containing the data, and a group column refers to the column by which we want to group the resultant data. Let's see with an example how we can use an average function with a count function. For example, let's consider a table called orders that contains the following column: customer ID, product ID, and quantity with the following data. If we want to calculate the average count of products ordered by each customer, we can use this query. Select. After select, we specify average. Within the average function, we specify the count column, and this count column is returned by this subquery. Select count. Within the count, we provided the product ID that we need to count. Then we are ordering the whole result based on a customer ID. Let's execute this code and see. As we can see in the result, on average, each customer has ordered one product. This is how we can use the count function with the average function to find the average value of a column or average count of any product to find the average count of a column in PostgreSQL. Now move to the next topic, PostgreSQL average group by. In PostgreSQL, the group by clause is used to group the result set by one or more columns. The average function can be used with a group by clause to calculate the average value of a column for each group. The syntax for using average with a group by clause in PostgreSQL as follows, you can see the syntax is the same as the first topic of this video. So here we have added an extra keyword group by to group the result set. Let's take an example and see how we can use the average function with a group by clause. For example, we are going to use the same table which is called sales, which contains two columns, product ID and sales amount. Now, if we want to calculate the average sales amount for each product, we can use this query. Select product ID, then we have used average function. Within average function provided column name sales amount. Then we have grouped the result using the column product ID. Let's execute the code and see. As we can see in the result that the average sales amount for a product 1 is $1,250 and for product 2 is $2,500. This is how we can use the average function with a group by clause that calculate the average value of a column for each group in a table. By grouping the data by a specific column, we can obtain more accurate and meaningful insight into our data. Now move to the last topic of this tutorial, PostgreSQL average multiple columns. In PostgreSQL, it is possible to calculate the average of a multiple column using average function. This can be useful in a situation where we want to calculate the average value of a more than one column. For example, when we have a multiple matrix that we want to analyze. The syntax for calculating the average of multiple columns in PostgreSQL is as follows, you can see here. So to calculate the average value for a multiple column, we have used the multiple average function after select keyword. And column name 1, column name 2 and column name 3 refers to the column for which we want to calculate the average value. Let's jump to example and see. For example, we have a table called sales details with the column product ID, sales amount and unit sold. If we want to calculate the average sales amount and unit sold for all products, we can use this query. Select, then we have average. Within average, we have provided the first column sales amount. Then again we have used the average function for the second column unit sold. Let's execute the code and see. The result shows that the average sales amount is $1,875 and the average unit sold is 13.25 unit. This is how to use the average function in PostgreSQL to calculate the average value of a multiple column in a table. By analyzing multiple metrics, we can gain a better understanding of the data and identify patterns and trends that might not be visible by looking at a single column. Before we end this tutorial, let me tell you that we have little post about PostgreSQL average on our website databasefacts.com. I hope that you have enjoyed video tutorial about PostgreSQL average function. So at last, I want to say, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel and thank you.